Hello and welcome to another episode. Put me in, coach, on episode 20. Man, we're getting so much in this of enough of like in a half of the series, or I meant season, meant to say. We're pretty much like 80%, very close of this first half of the season. So it's kind of crazy. We're at 20 episodes and 20 games and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Today, Diamondbacks were against the former championship of the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 1. Jose Fernandez at first base, James McCain at catcher, Tim Tawa at left field, and Jorge Barosa at center field, and the rest is the same. By the way, look at these lineups of their stats. Pretty much we were very, very close of going back-to-back games of enough of having the rest of the lineup getting one or two at bats, getting base hits. And the only person we're very, very, very close to do it, because there's only one person on this lineup did not get a hit, and that's Jorge Barosa, because he went 0 for 4. Fortunately enough, at his last bat, he was trying to bunt, and he, obviously enough, he has some speed on his feet. He was very, very close to be safe at first on a bunt, but fortunately enough, it was an out. It looked like he was safe when we saw it, but just a little quick enough of the ball got to the base than Barosa, and fortunately enough, we didn't want to challenge on a play where enough of, it was a good call on the ump. So it was very, very close enough. We were going to have a back-to-back every lineup to getting a base hit. So pretty much it looks pretty good for the Diamondbacks on the offense and stuff. The only people were actually hitting more than one base hits is Kento Marte and Nolan Arenado. I thinking that's basically it. And then the rest has one base hit or just got on base and stuff. You love to see this and stuff. Like, I love to see this. This is what I specifically want and need the Diamondbacks to do, because I think in the most biggest important is to have the offense go off, because if this way, we can get more runs and we can win in this typical way where enough of if it goes this direction and stuff. And fortunately enough, the offense has been hot this lately at this time and stuff, and hopefully they can keep it going and stuff, because it's fun to watch for them and stuff. And obviously enough, yeah, like these teams are very good, like the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are having a rough time here and there, but fortunately enough, they're actually still a good team, with really good players on that team and stuff. So you just gotta a little aware from that, where it's just gotta understand, we're a lot much better team, and we're showing we're a lot better. Pitching wise, Michael Soroka, good today and stuff. He went 7 innings, this first time going to 7 inning as a Diamondbacks. Gave up 5 hits, struck out 5, no walks, and gave up 2 runs. So he did pretty solid and stuff. And then this is another weirdest thing. I do not know why this is happening again. I saw this before when I was watching the Phillies. It was on Game 3 of the Phillies when Andrew Painter is supposed to pitch for the Phillies as a starting pitcher, and unfortunately enough, somebody else, I think in Zach Pop or something, came in to pitch for about 3 innings, and then later on Andrew Painter came in and went like, I don't know, 5 innings lately and stuff. Um, that is just the weirdest thing, and they did us. They did that today, and so because Eric Lauer is supposed to pitch today. Unfortunately, he did came in, but he didn't start. He didn't start this game, and that's weird because like, why did you change? So fortunately enough, Brandon Fisher actually took the start for the Blue Jays. He only went 1 inning. He only gave up 1 hit, struck out none, balls none, runs none, and stuff. Eric Lauer pitched for 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, struck out 4, gave up one walk, I meant to say, and gave up 3 runs. So it's just so weird of enough of, like Fisher only came in 1 inning, and that was only in the beginning. Like, what was the purpose for Fisher to come in? Lauer can actually come in. Is there a thing where enough of, like, there was a hiccup where enough of, like, they're not ready? Like, what do you mean you're not ready? It doesn't mean enough of, like, you're the starting pitcher and stuff, and then you kind of bounce out, and then later on you, like, have another pitcher go in, and then you go in later and stuff. It's the weirdest thing ever. This is the second time I'm seeing this, again, with Andrew Painter, now Eric Lauer and stuff, so I don't know. It's weird to me. It just kind of threw me off because, like, I'm not ready, like, for this, I have my notes enough. Like, obviously, it put me TBD, by the way, in the first half of, like, when I was supposed to, like, figure out, like, oh, who's the pitcher for the Blue Jays in Game 1 and stuff. Didn't say no one and stuff. That's what TBD is for. And then, fortunately enough, when I figure out now it's Eric Lauer, and then after I started watching the game, and the Blue Jays are, on the mound and stuff, hearing about Lauer is not pitching the first inning. So it kind of threw me off. I just don't like that. Just like, why you threw me off, Like, if things would actually happen, like if he got injured or he's sick or anything and he cannot play and stuff, that would make sense of why somebody came in to pitch over him and stuff. But for him just to come in later, honestly enough, there's no reason. And also, if you're the first pitcher coming in and then taken out later on and stuff, for a pitcher shouldn't be starting, it's only going for like 1 or 2 innings, and that's it. Maybe 3, maybe 4, who knows. But it's just, for this, you're not going to get the win or the lose because you're just kind of like a helper pitcher to come in just to start the game. So, yeah, I just thinking that was just weird and threw me off because I thought Eric Lauer was supposed to pitch and he didn't start. So, to me, that's weird. On the on the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, Jonathan Liskia came in, and then Paul Sewald getting another save for the Diamondbacks. So the bullpen is looking pretty good. Liskia only gave up 1 run, and that's pretty much of that, but pretty solid. I think in the offense really helped on the pitching wise and stuff because we got a lot of runs, so I'm feeling a lot comfortable. But fortunately enough, just having them to not taking the lead or get them to tie the game up is huge and stuff. Scoring wise, Nolan Arenado with a solo home run to tie the game in the bottom of the 4th. Corbin Carroll hit a RBI single to make it 2-1, bottom of the 5th. Jose Fernandez, the kid, RBI single to make it 3-1. bottom of the fifth. And then Miles Straw, and the weirdest note, Miles Straw did not start because I guess he went in center field because not Vargas, Verosa, former Diamondbacks, by the way, was starting at center field, and then somehow he got injured. So that's why Miles Straw came in, and he's actually the only person got two runs off of Soroka and stuff. So he hit a solo home run to make it 2-3, top of the sixth. And then Nolan Arenado got a RBI single to make it 5-2, bottom of the seventh. And Tim Tawa with the RBI double, 6-3, bottom of the eighth. So they just keep chipping on the Blue Jays today and stuff. And we got the win. The total of score is 6-3. And our record is 12-8. Looking good. And stuff, starting hot on this series against the Blue Jays and progress. I love what I'm seeing. I'm gonna keep saying enough to keep looking at your homework, keep hacking, keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully they can capitalize of what they're trying to do and stuff. Both sides, offense and defense. We're like this is actually showing enough we're up there with the Dodgers and the Padres, because those are the other teams that are also doing really good in our division and stuff, and the rest are just not doing so well. So obviously we're in third place, but overall, that's better than fourth or fifth or anything. We're winning more games than we are than losing, so that's a good sign and stuff. I just thinking we're just doing a good job, and we're just hacking on the balls, and who cares of who's at the plate or at the mound and stuff. We're getting outs, we're getting like Michael Soroka, I was going to say, Michael Soroka and Eric Lauer are very close matchup, a really great matchup together. They're because they show they're the same, but I would just say Michael Soroka is just a little bit better than Eric Lauer today, because of Soroka was basically giving a lot of ground outs and stuff, where enough of the offense for the Diamondbacks just keep hitting off of on Eric Lauer and stuff. So I think that's the most biggest thing, and we got a lot more good hits off of Eric Lauer and stuff. So that's just a good sign to see it and stuff. So hopefully they can be consistent of showing that every single game, and being confident is a big thing as well. So yeah, it's just we're just love to see what they're doing and stuff, and hopefully that doesn't go anywhere wrong in a way. There's one biggest thing I want to talk about besides of saying our MVP today and stuff, but I got a little pissed off from the Blue Jays, not gonna lie, and stuff. I gotta, trust myself enough of just to say these things and stuff. The reason why I got really pissed off, because there was a play where Giménez on the Blue Jays, the second base, shortstop, whatever he's at, I think shortstop. That makes sense because Ernie Clement's at second base. It's just he had a play. He got a base hit overall and stuff, and he was trying to go for a triple, and fortunately he got out. And he pointed somewhere for interference and stuff. And fortunately enough, yeah, it's the right call, interference, because there was a side person, get the like the foul balls or whatever and give to the crowd or the audience and stuff, like those foul ball people and stuff. And that person just touched it, it kind of glazed off of him and stuff. I don't think he was trying to go for it or anything. I think he was just trying to get out of the way. And but it did hit him. He did interference the play, but fortunately enough, the game still went on and on. Like it's just like Corbin Carroll just played it as a play and stuff, and then Giménez just kept running. So where I'm at of enough, because what I want to see on this is like being fairness, like this is what I want. Like what do you prefer in any game? Do you prefer actually telling the truth and play fair to win fair in a way and stuff, or you want to be a liar and a cheater to lose? I mean, not to lose, to win as just who you just care about winning, Have a positive attitude here where enough of you want to win fairness, where enough of you just want to win, and that's only you want to do. Okay? Don't win as a cheater. Win as a fair person. Okay? Working hard and doing the right thing is more achievement than taking the lead where enough you didn't deserve it and lie about it and get away from it. And that's the only thing you care about, of just winning and not doing the right thing. So you gotta really think about these typical things. Like, this is huge, and I'm a type of person want to see fairness all the time, and that's never ever gonna happen in any sport. And so fortunately for this, has really pissed me off, where enough of Giménez should be out immediately compared to, I'm just saying, to me, because what I saw from it, yes, he got it correctly of enough there was an interference, but he kept running at third base. If Giménez was actually safe at third base, he wouldn't say anything. Immediately after he got called out at third base, he pointed right away. The best effort of enough for this is, you knew it was interference, so he was trying to get away from it. But fortunately, he got called out. That's where he thinks about interference, because I don't think he would absolutely do it if he was safe at third, because he's going to shut up, don't say nothing, because, Don Snyder just came out, like, right away, like, hey, like, can we see this and whatever and stuff. And again, it is the right call. I understand that. But you still ran. You kept running. If you knew what is the right call, you would be at second base, because that's where you were at in the first place. Because fortunately for the play, he called out on interference, because he got called out at third base. He went to second base without no outs. I think the best thing you need to do is think about there was instruction of interference, and just stop at second. Why you went on third? You went to third because you knew there was something wrong with that play. So he went extra. For him, in my opinion, what I saw, he went for it. If you went for it, that means you got out. Don't blame of enough of, people got it wrong and stuff because there was an interference and stuff. You think enough that this is a huge, like, baseball IQ. No, you thought enough you got away from it because you thinking the wrong thing. Like, come on. Like, I don't want to see this at all to any team. I don't want to see this on the Diamondbacks. If I see those on the Diamondbacks, I want them bench. I want them bench. You're not playing this way. I don't care. You thought of enough. It's not the right thing to do. Okay? Do the right thing, please. Play fair. Because that was not a fair play. And you thinking this is a baseball IQ, thinking you're so smart? No, you're dumb as heck. You're dumb as heck. Thank you for enough to put me, yourself to put on a list so that I just don't care anymore. You're a type of person I don't want to see your face anymore. This is huge. Like, this is the type of thing of enough. And fortunately enough, I'm gonna laugh in your face because it didn't work. And the other biggest thing, I also got pissed off because he got stolen base as well. He got so lucky enough he can go back to second, not an out, and he sold third anyway. So what was the point of this? What is the point of this? And the thing about this is Soroka got out of the inning anyway, so he didn't give him any runs. He just gave up a double. Oh, and anyways and stuff. Like, that was it. That was it. So, I'm going to laugh in Giménez's face, like, at this time. Like, you thought of this, and you didn't deserve the run anyways, and stuff. And it didn't work in that way, but if it did, it would actually tie the game up. You know, and fortunately for that, we will still win because we got more runs than you. So it would still be 3 and stuff because that's the only run you would get. Because the Blue Jays only got 3 runs and that was it. Maybe 4, maybe it would be 6-4. We still won the game. Like, it wouldn't really matter in a way, but I just want the game go fair. That's what I want. You know, I don't care who you are. I don't care what team you are. Play fair in any sport. And if umps and refs or whatever can mess that up, they're awful people. They don't know what's the rule. They gotta look at the rule books and get things correctly because that's what the game goes. And you want to win fair than actually winning not fair. You know, and that's to me. I would do that. I would go the fair way and not the wrong way. That's what I would do. Because it's the right thing to do. Be the better person, please. Be the better person. Be the better team, and the Diamondbacks were, and the Blue Jays weren't. That's why you guys lost. And also, you guys suck anyways. So, you guys took the L. Big, giant L to your forehead. And you know who's the MVP for today? Nolan Arenado. His first one. Good for him. Getting some home runs, base hits, times where we actually need it, and get us the win. Unbelievable, man. I was like I cannot believe this actually happened. You thought enough you're smart? You're not. You're not. That's what I think of you. You're not smart. You got away from it, but it didn't work. So, more laugh to your face. L7 Weenie. Yeah, that's right. Alright. Great win for the Diamondbacks. Hopefully they can keep going on this and stuff. Hopefully I can see you guys tomorrow game. It's going to be a good game. Zach Gallen versus former Diamondbacks Max Scherzer. Rookie Max Scherzer. Meant to say enough because he started with us in 2008, I believe. So that's going to be a good matchup. Hopefully have a good game. So Thank you for watching and have a nice day.